Okay, thank you. Before I introduce our special guest this evening, whom you have already spoken to, Landon, I would just like to share a couple of things with you all. Saturday morning, I had planned to lay in my bed and sleep. I received an emergency phone call from my beautician, and she said, "You have to bring me some patches. I am out and I have to speak at 10:30 and I'm not able to stand up for that length of time without the patch." So, Landon, when you said that, I thought, oh, I must share this with you all because she has neuropathy. And when she used the patch the first time, the ice wave patch the first time, she called me 2 days later and she said, "I'm actually walking in my bare feet at my home, and that's something that I could not do before." So I took her some patches, and then on my way back, I got a call from someone else wanting to know if I had any X39s because they had given out of the patch and they desperately needed the patch. Excuse me. So I was very happy that I was able to accommodate them. But tonight we are going to introduce Mrs. Verdita Monk, and she is the Senior Presidential Director with Lightwave. She's a very successful leader. She's very knowledgeable about the information of the product, much more knowledgeable than I am. She loves helping people and has helped thousands of people with their health and wealth. And so I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Monk so that she can share with you everything you need to know about this technology. Good evening, Mrs. Monk.
Well, good evening, Miss Catherine. How are you this evening?
I am absolutely fantastic. At
Well,
80,
that's
I
great
tell
to hear.
everybody at 82 years old, just cannot believe that I am walking, I'm exercising, I'm doing whatever I want to do because this X39 has worked.
Well, absolutely. I'm so happy for you. And you're just a magnet. You're attracting so many people that are getting results from these patches, and everybody, your phone is ringing off the hook. So you're doing all the right things. But so thank you so much for pulling this call together. And I want to say welcome to the guests that are on the call. Again, my name is Verdita Monk, and I am with a company called LifeWave, which is a company that we're going to be talking about. You'll know more about it in a moment. But our company specializes in stem cell technology. And my husband and I got involved with this company about almost 3 years ago from a friend of ours who we've known for years. And he told us, "You've got to hear about this patch." And we were about to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin the next day, where my in-laws are from. But so he made it seem like it was an emergency. So this is how it all started. My husband met him and picked up some of these patches, and we get to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We had gotten on a call just like this one, where we heard some amazing testimonies, and we couldn't believe what we had heard, but we didn't think it applied to us because we're healthy people. We said, we don't have any pain, we don't have any illnesses. But what happened was, when we walked in the door to my mother-in-law's home, the first thing she did, I mean, she looked like she was about to cry. She's about 92 years old. And we wondered what was wrong. She said her knee was hurting so bad. The medication that the doctor is giving her was not working, and she did not want surgery. So because we had just heard about this technology that you're about to hear about, we decided, okay, let's just try it on her. We put it on her knee and she went to bed. The very next day, she woke up no pain whatsoever. The next night, I'm going to say that what happened the next night, okay? I'm going to save that for later on in the presentation because I want you to hear what happened to me and my husband. But because of what happened to us the next night, this is why I'm here. We decided that there was so many people that needed what this patch does that we just could not keep it to ourselves, okay? So just hold on to that thought. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna try to go through it pretty quickly so we can catch us up on time. But listen, you guys, we're talking about a product that's way ahead of its time. You know, it harnesses light to heal our body. You can see it on the arms of these beautiful ladies here. It's very, very tiny. thin like a Band-Aid, thin like about the size of a quarter. You can literally put it anywhere in your body. They're just featuring it on their arms because of this picture. But once you start wearing this patch, your copper peptides that are in your body are going to be elevated. And when that happens, it is said by scientists that automatically will allow your body to reactivate its own stem cells. And that is a phenomenon. They say nobody could do it, but that's what's going to happen if you elevate the copper peptides in your body. And that's exactly what's going to happen when you do this, and your whole body is going to be regenerated. So let me tell you, why are we talking about this? Now, let me give you a little bit of history. Some of you may already know a little bit about stem cell injections. That is a stem cell technology, and stem cell injections are two different things. But you see, stem cell technology is, injections rather, is when the doctor, they specialize in injection. They'll put a needle in your knee, for example. If you have a very painful knee, they put that injection in there with stem cells. They're going to belong to somebody else, whether it's another person or an embryo or something like that. But guess what? That same injection that helped you with your knee is not going to help you with that rotator cuff, or it's not going to help you with a heart congestion or anything, or Alzheimer's. It's not going to help you with any of that. But this, and so it's very, very expensive. It can range anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 to $25,000. I mean, I've heard some professional athletes that have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know why, but they did, and did not even work. Whereas this patch right here is systemic, meaning no matter where you put it on your body, it works on everything in your body. It is very sophisticated. It knows what it's supposed to do. Okay. So getting back to my presentation, that's why we're talking about this, is because, see, by the time we're 30, the stem cells in our body go inactive. That's why our body starts getting high blood pressure, diabetes, just being tired, all those kinds of things. And by the time we're 60, nearly all of our stem cells are gone. They're about 90% dormant. Okay. And stem cells make up the tissues and organs in our bodies that are intended to repair our body. And so if you don't have the stem cells in your body, the slower your body's going to heal. Okay. So millions of people are experiencing the effects of aging. And I want to make this disclaimer right here, because I want to let you know that our company is not saying that our products are here to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. We're simply saying that the patch reboots the body, okay, so that it will heal itself. Now, how does it work? Very, very simple. This is a proprietary form of phototherapy. Phototherapy can be compared to when you go out into the sun, the vitamin D in your body is elevated. But it's not that the vitamin D is being deposited into your body. Like, it's not floating around in the air. It's already in your body, but it's being elevated because of the light of the sun. Well, with this nanocrystal, patented nanocrystal technology, you can't even see the nanocrystals. They're very, very tiny, made out of amino acids, salts, and sugars. Nothing in this patch except for a frequency. When you put this patch on, the heat and light of your body, that's where the light is going to come from. In this example, it's going to come from your body, and it's going to reflect off of the crystals. And when that does that, it elevates the copper peptide, GHKCU, which in turn reactivates the dormant stem cells. Literally, you can take this as a phenomenon. I mean, it's something that doctors and scientists said nobody could do. No, non-transdermal, nothing goes into your body, nothing penetrates into your body. It's only a reflection of the light of your body. Now, there are no drugs and chemicals in it. That's amazing, because many people, especially people that love natural things, they don't want to deal with drugs and chemicals. And in addition to that, elite athletes are not allowed to have any type of performance enhancing drugs in their body when they're performing. Okay. So that's something to know, but to know that it doesn't interfere with any kind of medication that your doctor may be giving you. You let your doctor take you off of the drugs, but this is not a drug. And that's why it's not approved by the FDA, because FDA approves drugs, but it is formulated in an FDA registered lab, meaning they have visited and examined the laboratory. But it is an amazing situation. non-invasive, 100% non-invasive. It doesn't affect anything else that's going in your body. Now, again, we're making that disclaimer again. We're not saying this is curing anything. We're saying that your body is going to be restored to a state where it heals itself, okay? Now, here's the genius. This is the brainchild behind all of this, David Schmidt. He literally now has over 200 patents. You know, that's amazing in itself. He is a scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. Now, in 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cell research. That was a big thing. He knew how important it was. And it took him about 10 years and $4.5 million to bring it to market, along with his team of doctors and scientists. 10 years and 80 case studies. You know, when you do those case studies, that's when you discover the things that the patch has done, right? And because of those 80 case studies, he was able to patent this in 2020. And when you patent something, it means it literally does what it says it's going to do. I'm going to read to you what it says it will do. This is a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. It literally says in the patent that it activates the stem cells. Now, isn't that amazing? So this non-transdermal apparatus reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of copper peptide GHK-Cu in the body. You guys, this is phenomenal. Here is the patent, okay? We've got exclusive rights to this patent for the next 15 years, meaning no one can duplicate this, no one can market this except a LifeWave representative. Now, there are many, many benefits with this patch, as you can see on the screen: increased strength, reduced inflammation, energy and vitality, increased stamina, mental clarity. That's a big one, especially when we age. You know, this is when people start getting, just forgetting things, and many times it turns into dementia or Alzheimer's. These situations are being reversed. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions. You know, Katherine has a testimony about her neighbor. I'll let her share that with you in a little bit. That's a perfect example of how the skeletal condition, the skeletal system is restoring itself. Improvement of sleep. Now, this is the one I wanted to share with you about me and my husband. You see, for 10 years, my husband used to snore like a bear. It was terrible. I mean, he would snore so loud, I could not sleep. And he would choke and cough all night because he also had acid reflux. We didn't think something like this would correct that situation. That night, he did not snore. And I slept so deeply that I just thought maybe I didn't hear it, or which was impossible, or it was just a good night. Well, the next night we put the patch on again. Now, you're supposed to put it on the daytime. We just didn't know any better at the time. But we put it on at night. That again, he still didn't snore. That's when we knew that the patch had corrected his situation. And that's been almost 3 years ago. And he has not snored since, you guys. You can imagine, that was a gift for me, because I could not sleep. You guys, I would push on him all night long. I was not going to allow him to keep snoring. And so it was amazing. But improved skin appearance. There are people that have chronic skin conditions that I'm going to show you in a moment that this patch has corrected. It's just amazing, you guys. So this is very, very exciting. Now, here's something called a topography map. This is where they took the brain of a 77-year-old woman. This is basically a brain scan. They placed the patch on the back of her neck, which is one of the places you can really put it anywhere. They put it on the back of her neck, and they looked at her brain under the brain scan, and there was this orange red area that represents inflammation in the brain and lack of brain coherence. Session 2, which was 3 weeks ago, she had no more inflammation and improved brain coherence. Now, look at the blue area. All the orange is gone, and there's better brain coherence. 3 weeks later, a total of 6 weeks total, there was a complete turnaround, you guys. When this lady walked in there, her brain was hyperactive. I mean, it could have, I don't know what that specifically means. It could have meant she had, PTSD or any of those type of conditions that means the brain is unbalanced. This is not restricted to your brain. It could be your heart. It could be your liver. It could be your kidney that has inflammation. There's inflammation all through your body, but this happens to be a brain scan. Now, Remember I told you about the case studies. Those are reflected on a site called thisisit.info.com. This is where we send doctors, all kinds of people that are very curious about all the details of the case studies and everything. Excuse me. So let me tell you what happened in the case studies. In the first few days, over 4,000 genes begin reset. That's very significant because normally, like if you were to drink a glass of red wine, there's an ingredient in it called resveratrol, which is known to help be good for the heart and to help you live longer. You're only going to get 2 genes reset when you drink a glass of red wine. So to be able to get 4,000 reset, this is amazing in a few days. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, just like the lady in the previous page I told you about. But not only is, you know, a hyperactive brain is not the only thing that's reflected of having an unbalanced brain. Like I said, if people have Alzheimer's, autism, PTSD, just plain old depression, there's many things that reflect your brain being unbalanced, but within 6 weeks in these case studies, people's brains became balanced. I happen to know someone, just to give you an example. She lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and one of her friend's daughters has a 3-year-old that is autistic. And they say that all she did was walk around in circles all day long. She would never sit down. Her mother put the patch on her and she went to school the next day. She went that morning. And when she got to school, the teacher took a picture because this is the first time this little girl has ever sat down before. And she even literally, she would never go to the bathroom. She would always have to wear a diaper at 3 years old. She literally used a potty that day. And she was friendly. She was this all in one application. So can you imagine over time what this is doing for children that are autistic? Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. You know, the collagen is not just to make your skin look good and make your hair grow, but it also holds your body together. It holds the bones, you know, the muscles and tissue together. If you think of a house, a brick house, the collagen is the mortar that holds the house together. So you can see how important the collagen is. It is depleted as we get older. Within 3 months, that's increased. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. Every 6 months that you wear this patch, your heart is going to reverse by 8 years. In other words, you're going to get younger and younger. I have a friend who had all kind of stuff. It started with diabetes, and he had to take 5 insulin shots a day. But it gave him a heart, a stroke. It gave him a stroke, which caused him to be paralyzed on one side, couldn't talk and anything. But later on, you know, they put a pacemaker in there because they would not let him leave the hospital without that pacemaker. Well, later on, about 3 years ago, a friend of his brought him this patch, and he started wearing it. Within 3 days, he was no longer taking insulin after 5 shots per day. But after 3 days, he didn't have to do the insulin. But he also, 6 weeks later, he was having to see his cardiologist every 6 weeks. And the cardiologist came out this time and said, "Mr. Payton, what are you doing?" He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, your heart is no longer relying on this pacemaker. It's beating on its own. It's operating on its own." And this was amazing. That doctor in turn, downgraded him to a general cardiologist. And over time, I think it's been about a couple years since all this happened, but they say that they're saying that he has a heart of a 22 years old. He's 67 years old. That's what we mean. Excuse me, I need some water. This is what we mean when we say the heart reverses in age. We're going to get younger and younger. You know, it's age reversing, according to David Schmidt. I know that personally, I feel a lot younger. I could do a lot of things that, you know, young people are doing, and you know, I'm looking younger, all those things. But just to know that I'm getting healthier and younger as time goes on. Now, how do you wear it? Anywhere you want to wear it. In the case studies, they did group A below the belly button, group B behind the neck. And all you have to do, you can wear it 12 hours a day and 12 hours off. And then during that time that it's off, it's allowing the body to repair and rejuvenate. You wear it like a Band-Aid. It's got paper on the back. You just peel it off and just stick it on your body. It's just like a little sticker. And then you're going to throw it away. And the next day you're going to put a new one on. Why? Because you're going to get 30 patches in this beautiful packaging here. See, it's a double packaging, 30 of them. So you don't have to save it. You can't save it. You need to throw it away, put a new one on. But what you must do is you must drink plenty of water. You got to drink plenty of water. You got to be hydrated because this technology has a frequency in it and it needs to flow through the body and it's going to be detoxing and pushing those toxins out, all of that. That's why you need the water. Now, this is a fun part because I want you to hear some real life testimonies. I'm not sure if this one gentleman was going to be, and I don't think he made it, but Miss Catherine what she can do is allow us to hear a testimony of a couple of people. You can, Miss Catherine, let me start your video again. Okay, can you unmute show your video, Miss Catherine, and unmute yourself? There you go.
Sure.
And you got a couple of testimonies. I know you can't wait to share.
Yes, I am excited because Dr. Smith is my neighbor, and he came around one day with his lawn crew to check on my lawn. And when he got out of his car, he was walking up the hill with a cane. And I've known Dr. Smith a long time. So I asked him, I said, Dr. Smith, what's going on? And he told me that he was having problems, now with his legs. He played football. He said, I have problems with my legs and I have arthritis in my shoulders. And we talked a little bit about all of the health issues, including blood pressure. So I shared the patch with him. And he wore the patch for about 3 weeks. He called me one night and said, You will not believe this. I walked to my mailbox and back into my house and did not realize that I was not using my cane. That was unbelievable. He just couldn't believe that he had actually done that. He also called me one day as he was giving out of his X39s and said, Kathy, I need a fix. That was so funny. I said, What kind of fix are you talking about? He said, I need that patch. So I was able to share with him the importance of making sure that, he got on auto ship so that it would come to him every single month. He has also, since that time, his blood pressure dropped real low one night. And he called me and I said, Well, I told you to watch your blood pressure and watch your blood sugar because they were going to start leveling out. And he called and he said, My blood pressure is too low. And I said, Please call your doctor and ask your doctor if he will cut your blood pressure in half or take you off of it. So the doctor has cut it in half. And he will not do anything without that patch. I had to go by today and patch him with an ice wave because they had been out working, doing some things with the landscaping, and he was having some pain in his back. So I made sure that I delivered him ice wave. The first time I delivered ice wave to him, he called me and he said, I don't know about you. What in the world is this? But he was so happy about it that he was confident that if we did the same thing today with his back, he would be okay. Also, I have a friend that lives in Raleigh, and she has been on a walker for probably about 20 some years. She has had some health issues. She also was asthmatic. And she started with the X39. And it was interesting because after a week, she noticed that she did not have to use the albuterol. I have you to know it's been 3 months and she has not had to use asthma medicine. She called me today and I said to her, Your voice is so strong. She said, Kathy, everybody is telling me that. And there used to be a time when we couldn't even hear what she was saying. The other thing that happened is she went out to get her housekeeper and came back to her house with a housekeeper and realized that she didn't take her walker. So now she knows that she can actually do some things without her walker after all of these years.
Well, wow. See, no wonder your phone is ringing off the hook because you're helping so many people. But one part that you said about Thea was that about the albuterol, but you told me that she was having to give herself albuterol 3 times a day.
Actually, 4 times a day.
4 times a day.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
what, after just a few days, she stopped using it.
that's right.
Now you see,
Right.
it's very impressive, you guys. So we're talking about a whole range of things that she just talked about. People not walking, with the cane, not walking with a walker, pain, going, and I mean, it's just amazing. So hopefully you can see. Did you want to say something else, Catherine?
Yes, I wanted to share with you that she shared the patch with Dr. Oles's wife because Dr. Oles's wife was at an event with us and her knee was hurting. The doctor had told her she would have to have knee replacement. So Thea shared that with her. And now she is ordering the performance pack because guess what? She's not having the pain in her knees anymore. And the doctors are saying, oh my, we might not have to do surgery now.
What? That is
We don't,
amazing.
isn't that amazing?
So thank you so much, Catherine, for first of all, catching a vision. You caught the vision immediately because you started thinking not about yourself, but thinking about other people that you could help. It's sort of like what happened with me and my husband. We felt like there's so many people that need this. I cannot just not let them know about this patch. And you're getting a kick out of it. I can tell you, Miss Catherine is getting a kick out of this. She's helping so many people. So thanks again, Miss Catherine.
You're welcome.
All right, let me get back to the presentation. Okay. So I told you, now let me share this with you. I told you about chronic skin conditions, right? Look at this gentleman, a condition called vitiligo. There is no cure for vitiligo, only, different treatments or things that doctors recommend, but it is no cure for it. It doesn't really work. And look at him a year later. I just happen to know this is a year after wearing the patch. This is what he looks like. Isn't that amazing? And then this lady, after wearing the patch 3 years, her lines and wrinkles were diminished in 3 years. I mean, it took 3 years, but look, she looks 20 years younger. Same lady. Same lady. Okay. Now, there are many, many more testimonials that you can go and find yourself on that site I told you about. Thisitsitinfo.com. It's a very important site. So just for example, if somebody had neuropathy, like Catherine said, that you can click on this tab right here and it'll tell you about it'll be a video, recorded video behind it that tells you what happened. And then this person will tell them how it helped them with their neuropathy. You click on eye improvement, for example. I have a friend who has a spa and he asked me to come over, and this lady, well, I'll just put it this way. This lady had a detached retina. That's what happened. She had a detached retina, and for 2 years she could not see through that eye. And after just 2 days of wearing the patch, her retina reattached itself and she could see completely out of that eye. 2 surgeries that did not work. So, I mean, these are testimonies that are unbelievable. And matter of fact, I'm not sure if he's able to do it, but one of the people, the gentleman that shared this with Catherine, just jumped on the call. He had an emergency. So I'm not sure if James, let me make you a co-host, James, just in case you are able to come on here. And because you're going to love his testimony as well. James, we've been sharing testimonies. We just finished with them, but are you able to share yours now? I made you a co-host. All you have to do is unmute yourself and share your video. Okay, he may be on his phone. He may not be able to know. Let me see if I can ask him to unmute. James? Okay. Well, that's okay. Maybe later. But thank you so much, James, for getting on the call. So let me get back to my presentation. Where is my, oh, there I am. All righty. So now, so you go to that site if you want to hear any more, like if you're looking for what would happen, do you know anybody that have issues with their heart, whatever, okay? Now, we spent just quite a bit of time talking about this patch, and hopefully you can see how this will allow you to have health freedom. Because I personally don't know anything that people have been dealing with that it has not been resolved. That's just me. I've been in the company about 3 years. I don't know what other conditions people have. I have never heard of anybody having a condition that was not resolved with this patch. So that sounds like health freedom to me. But I want to talk to you about financial freedom, because you know, it's one thing to be healthy. There are many people that need financial support. And we want to share with you how, just like Miss Catherine, how when you share by default, you are sharing because you were caring, but the company is going to compensate you when you share with other people. This compensation plan happens to be very, very lucrative. You know, I have a degree in mathematics. I know numbers. I know compensation plans. I didn't really, be honest with you, didn't pay attention. It was not, I put it this way, I was not motivated by the compensation plan because I was doing pretty well with my career. You know, both my husband and I were six-figure earners in our own businesses. So I was not motivated by the money, but I was motivated by helping people with this patch. I was blown away. I love sophisticated stuff like this. So, but let me just tell you what this company has accomplished. This is a global company. It's called LifeWave. We're now in over 80 countries. And back in 2020, we were doing about 20 million a year. And in the very next year, it took a minute for this product to penetrate the market. And in 2022, the company exploded to 320 million. And then the next year it reached 430 million. Isn't that amazing? And last year we exceeded 600 million. It's about to be $1 billion company, you guys. Why? How is this growth so possible? It's because we're not talking about a Me Too product. You know, anybody can, you know, market weight loss and skincare and hair care, but any company cannot market LifeWave, because this is a patented technology. David Schmidt, it took him 10 years. It was very, very difficult. So this is why our company's growing so fast. That screams opportunity, you guys, to do something that you want to do anyway and then get paid for it. Now, our compensation plan, I can't make any promises, but I will say that your success or failure is dependent on your skills or your personal effort. That's with anything you do, whether it's a business, whether it's a sport, whether it's your education. It takes your personal effort for you to be successful. Now, you may have received a text or email, but if not, we can get it to you. Just this application here, or you can go to Miss Catherine's website, and there will be an opportunity for you to select what you want. Like, say, for example, you said, well, I just want to try a 30-day supply like Dr. Smith did. And you can choose to get one of these 30-day supplies for $150, okay? If you understand the science behind it and understand this is not something to take a few patches or a 1 month and you're through with it, it's going to take time for your body to do what it was supposed to do, which is reverse those stem cells, reactivate those dormant stem cells, give it time. If you're going to do it anyway, why not save money and get it at the wholesale price for $99.95? But if those of you who catch the vision of what I'm about to share with you, you may want to consider getting a package called a Core, Advanced, or Premium. Let me break that down for you. A Core is for the person that not only wants to use the patch themselves and maybe for their spouse, but they also want to share with other people because they got some family and friends that they care about. And it's going to cost you $295, but you're going to get 3. We call these sleeves. 3 sleeves. In other words, enough for you, your spouse, and 1 to share. It's going to be 30 patches in each sleeve. Now, when we share these patches, we normally put, recommend about three patches, like this envelope right here that says, have you been patched? Inside this envelope is a postcard. On one side, it shares the benefits. On the other side, it has instructions on how to wear the patch. Has a website. All this is in here. Is a very professional presentation. And you put maybe about 3 patches in there for that person to try and see what happens with them when they wear it. And so that package is $295. Those people that know that they really, really want to make this a business, they really want to be a business builder, you may want to consider the advanced pack. That's $535. Now, you're going to get 6 of these. So we're going to save you $65 when you get this one because it's only going to be $535. But with those 6 sleeves, there's quite a few more people that you can share it with. But now, if you have a huge vision like me and my husband, you may want to consider getting the premium pack. You see, that's for the serious entrepreneur. You know, we're already entrepreneurs, and I always like to save money. See, we saved $250 on this. We knew we were going to go through these patches anyway because some people say, "Can I get some right now?" They didn't have to go to my site in order. Or there is other people that was interested in being a builder like us, and we were able to loan them a whole 30-day supply, so they didn't have to wait till they were so anxious, like probably you on this call, really, really anxious to try some of these patches, and they didn't want to wait. So I loaned them a whole 30-day supply until their inventory came in. But in addition to saving $250, you know, we made a list of 25 couples and 25 individuals, and we gave each one of the couples 5 for the wife, 5 for the husband, and then the individuals who were single, we gave them 5 as well. But we still had enough left over for us me and my husband, to each have our own 30-day supply for 90 days. See, this package right here sets you up where you have enough inventory for 90 days for you to use yourself. So in addition to that, like I said, you're saving money on each one. Now, let me tell you what else is important when you become a business builder. That's what these packages, they allow you to earn money. And I'm just about to get into that part. I'm just telling you what the package costs. So in order to earn money in our company, all you have to do is use the patch. That's all you have to do. If you're single like Miss Katherine, you only need one 30-day supply for yourself. That's going to be $100. You're going to get one sleeve, and it's going to cost you $99, and you're going to keep your points. You can earn $100 a week with one sleeve. But I know I can tell you right now, Miss Katherine is not getting one sleeve a month. She's getting 2. Why? Because not only does she need it for herself, she needs extra patches to share with people like you who are on this call. See, she can't go into her inventory what she's using for herself. She needed 2. That 2 is going to cost you $200, going to allow you to keep all your points, and you're going to have the potential to max out the compensation plan. And watch what's going to happen when you max out the compensation plan. Say, first of all, the first way we get paid is this. If someone wants to be a retail because they just want to try one 30-day supply, you're going to earn $50 when they pay $150. They're going to go to your site, order their sleeve, ship to them, you get $50. If they want to get the patch every single month, they understand that they got to give it time. They want to be consistent with this. And they're going to get a monthly subscription for $99.95. You're going to make $20 every month. So let's say if they stayed on the patch a whole year, which is highly recommended, you're going to make $240 on that one customer, okay? Now, what else happens is this. It's called the product introductory bonus. One of those people who purchase one of these packages, if they get a core, you're going to earn $35 and 180 points. If they get the advanced pack, you're going to earn $75 and you're going to get 300 points. If they get the premium pack, you're going to earn $405 and 745 points. Now let's break this down because those points are very important. So just know that. I'm going to explain that in a moment. As you earn money in this and you start sharing with other people, the first thing we want to help you do is become a manager. A manager simply means you've shared it with 4 people. Why? Because the manager position allows you to earn $1,500 per week. This is why you want 2 sleeves. In order to be a manager, you have to have at least 2 sleeves, and you have to enroll 4 people. But to be allowed to earn up to $1,500 a week is worth it. Wouldn't you agree? This binary compensation plan I'm about to explain to you will allow you to earn all the way up to $25,000 per week just in this one way of pay alone. So here's what the binary looks like. Let's say this is you, and you went out and shared it with your sister, your mother, your best friend, your colleague. Now you've enrolled 4 people. You're building a left team and a right team. So you're going to put 2 of them on your left and 2 on your right. Don't worry about the mechanics of it. We'll show you that part later. But by getting these 4 people, you are now a manager, and you're able, qualified to earn up to $25,000 a week as your team grows. But let me explain how this thing works. Let's say this is you. You've already put this together, but let's say that Miss Katherine goes and brings another person on board, which she will, and she decides to put them on her left team. If you are on her left side of her binary, these people on your left side, these people on your right, If you're on the left side of her binary, the person she brought in has to fall at the bottom of your binary tree. That means the people you brought in, they're going to benefit from all the volume that person generates. And all these people, all the way up to you, are all going to benefit 100% on the volume of that last person. The next person she brings in, if she puts it on her left, you're going to benefit from that volume too. In other words, we get paid to infinity. There are going to be hundreds, not maybe thousands of people on your team. My husband and I have over 7,000 people on our team that we started. Okay. And you get paid on all those people, even if you know those people are not. Okay. That's how the binary works. Okay. So, and once again, in order to be a manager, which is very important, you need to have the advanced pack, which is the one that's 535. Or if you came in with the core, you can always upgrade to advanced, or you can just order more product so you have a total of 300 points. Remember, I told you those points are very important because these points right here translate into money. Every time people sign up in this, the company is accumulating volume and it converts it into cash money. Okay. So now look what happens when you become a manager. You get a chance to participate in our matching bonus program. So because you enrolled me, say for example, if you enroll me into the program and I go out this week and in that binary, see, I'm getting paid on all these people. Remember, I go and earn $1,000 this week, you get $250. In other words, you earn 25% of everything I earn in the binary. Okay. And then I've enrolled some people, obviously. In order for me to earn that money, I had to share this with the people. Those people fall on your second level and you're getting 20% of what they earn. What if there were 10 people, which should be more than that, but let's say there were 10 people on your second level. Let's say they each earn $1,000 this week. That means $200 per week for 10 people. That's $2,000 you just earned, and you didn't even have anything to do with it. The people on your third level, you get 20% of what they earn as well. So this gets to be very, very exciting, you guys. This is called unlimited income potential. Remember, in the binary, you can earn 25,000 a week, whereas in the matching bonuses, it's unlimited. There is no cap on it. I know a gentleman that is does not have a high school diploma. He's on his 10th grade education. He's earning about 70,000 per week in this compensation plan. So it doesn't matter how much education you have. What matters is your work ethic, your desire, your being self-motivated, the desire to help other people, and your vision, and we can get you there. So there's more details about the compensation plan on a site called thisisitteam.com. More videos, more diagrams, everything. So I just shared with you a moment ago this tool. We have these postcards that you can get. We can show you how to get those so that you can share with other people. We do calls. Matter of fact, in just about 10 minutes, there's a powerhouse couple coming on this call right here with this Zoom ID. This couple, this is one example. Their son was autistic, and I believe he still is, but he couldn't swing. He couldn't ride a bike. He couldn't talk, any of that. He's doing all of that. And it happened pretty quickly that his parents are doing the presentation tonight on this Zoom ID. You can take a picture of it if you want to. It starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, and it comes on again at 10. So they're doing a double header. They're doing it 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock because we do like to cover the people in California. But we do calls every day. We even do a training on Saturdays, okay? Now it's time to make your move. If you are serious about your dream, hopefully you can see how this is hope for your future. Why? Because anytime you do business, you know, it's wonderful if you have a product that is chasing you down. Miss Katherine just gave you an idea of how people are chasing her down for these products. She doesn't have to follow up. She doesn't have to call them. They're chasing her down. So there's hope for your future. If it's your health that you need help with, this is hope for you. If it's your financial, freedom or you need more finances in your family, this is hope for your future. We have vacations, incentives. We got incentive trip going on right now. My husband and I have qualified to go to Greece. Santorini, Mykonos, Athens, Greece. Athens, Greece, but what else? In Italy, all this stuff, these trips we have won. And all we did was shared it and the points started accumulating. And when you qualify, you get to go on free trips. We've been on several trips already, you guys. So listen, hopefully you are blessed by the information you had tonight. Miss Catherine is going to follow up with you right after this call or sometime tomorrow. Please do me a favor. Text Miss Catherine and let her know, Catherine, please follow up with me tonight or give her a time tomorrow because she needs to follow up with you. When she gets on that phone with you, she's going to want to know one of three things. What did you like? What you like most? Was it the product? Did you see how this can help you and others that you care about with their product? Were you motivated by the income opportunity? Or were you motivated by both of them? So let her know where you stand so she knows how, where you know, what to do because she's well trained. She knows what to do when you say yes, okay? But we hope you decide to partner with us. I've enjoyed you all tonight, and we will see you in the future. And hopefully this is going to bless everybody on this call. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we'll talk to you soon. This call has been recorded, and Miss Catherine will have a copy of it. Thank you.